The Cape Flats is an expanse of land that houses some of Cape Town's most diverse communities. It is here where many of the city's working people come from. The area became a dumping ground for those forcibly removed during Apartheid's Group Areas Act. The southern suburbs is one such area where people from all walks of life find themselves living. It, however, has a huge percentage of the population that live in impoverished communities with scarce resources and facilities available to them. Crime, security, drugs and gangsterism are some of the social ills people have to contend with on a daily basis, and there is very little hope of this abating in the near future. In September 2009, a meeting was held in Grassy Park, a township within the Southern Suburbs district, to discuss some of the difficulties they had in accessing legal advice and the enormous cost involved. From this meeting, a group of dedicated individuals decided to do something, and the Southern Suburbs Legal Advice Centre was born.
To overcome and to assist our community besieged by crime but also abuse, we feel as a trust that it is our fundamental duties not only to promote human rights, but to in fact make a difference in the lives of the people from where we come from.
My friend and fellow trustee Tracy Fortune contacted me to inform me that a decision has been taken to form this trust or this organization. It was something that we had always discussed at university. You know, we always had this dream of conquering the world, but also giving back to the community.
South Africa's democracy finally arrived in 1994, but the fruits of this tree was in its infancy, and it required a concerted effort by civil society to help realize this dream. The needs for an organization such as the Southern Suburbs Legal Advice Centre became paramount in taking the seed of democracy and turning it into a reality for all. In establishing a society based on democratic values, social justice, and fundamental human rights, all citizens must play a part in laying the foundations for a democratic and open society in which every citizen is protected by the law.
If you are too involved in just doing what you specialized in, you lose touch with what's happening in the community. So there's a huge learning curve, and there's this great opportunity to just give back to the community and provide legal advice and empower people as regards their legal positions and their rights.
A number of us as trustees play a meaningful role, we believe, in society, both professionally and socially. There is a deeply rooted conscience for human rights, but more importantly, we still around in our area. Some of us still live in the area, and we feel that we can't be agents of change out there as ambassadors outside our area by not doing something from where we come from.
The Southern Suburbs Legal Advice Centre in Grassy Park deals with many legal issues. Statistics show that 21% of the issues are property disputes, 16% are matrimonial issues, 10% deceased estates, 10% consumer law disputes, 9% labour and motor vehicle accidents, and the rest include childcare, criminal cases, civil claims and domestic violence.
My first visit was quite informative. I gave them my story. It's a child custody case. I gave my story to Advocate Sharif, and he was quite helpful, very informative. He did a few phone calls, and he is trying to help me get my children back into my care because they were taken away from me illegally by my husband and the police. And I think the centre is trying their utmost best to assist me in getting my kids back into my care. I have a firm belief that they will help me. They will actually help me fight the case. And it's not just a promise they made, but they assured me that today I will get the help I need.
My case is basically dismissal, unfair dismissal. What happened in my case was I felt that the procedures were not followed properly, and there's a lot of things that, you know, I did not know when I was in the meeting. So basically from there I'll be able to take this further and actually find out what really is going on. She basically heard my side of the story, and that I found very comforting, you know. Now basically she's taken everything and she's given me forms, the things I need to do, so I've walked away now basically with hope and confidence right now. So
The centres aim to provide free legal advice to poor communities and strengthen democracy through human rights and literacy initiatives has taken off through the addition of various workshops in these communities.
We have a great partnership with government, in particularly the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development, with whom the Southern Suburbs Legal Advice Centre is a formal relation, and also with other government departments such as the Department of Social Development and Police. We have been able to hold joint workshops to train NGOs in the number of key fundamental legislation which affects vulnerable groups such as women and children. And we in fact feel that this particular program can be extended to the participation of more NGOs in our area as we grow.
While many projects are often started in good faith, they often run into the ground because of lack of funds, and as such the community are robbed of a much needed service. After identifying a dire need for legal services in the communities of the southern suburbs, the founders of the SSLAC hope to grow the centre to its full potential so that more people can benefit from the services offered.
Our medium to long-term objectives is to ensure that we are fully sponsored through donors. Secondly, is to ensure that we have the necessary infrastructure from where we can provide our free legal advice services to our communities. Thirdly, is to ensure that we employ administrators and other legal advisors on a full-time basis. Fourthly, we also hope to contribute and lobby for key legislation that affects the fundamental rights of our people.
The Southern Suburbs Legal Advice Centre is a beacon of hope in areas where justice eludes many who have been wronged and where legal advice is simply inaccessible.
We have a very active community, a community that is helping itself, taking up the struggle to realize their rights as protected in our constitution, and to ensure that we have a society and a community that can enjoy human rights but is also safe and will also feel safe.